So I am 10 messages deep into AI conversation, working with something real, and I asked it to apply constraint. I gave it right at the start, and it just doesn't. Answers like the instruction never existed. Same conversation. I didn't look close the tab, didn't start over, and when I called it out, it didn't say, "You are right, I lost that." It just adjusted. Smooth, like nothing had happened. So let me back up and show you and show you how we got there. Because the setup matters. Early on, I gave a specific rule to follow for everything after. Formatting constraints, something to avoid, so it doesn't matter what exactly. 10 or so exchanges later, deep into the actual work, gone. Not contradicted, not questioned, just absent, like it had never been said in the first place. Here's what actually happened, and it's simpler than it sounds. Every AI conversation has a limit window of what it's actually holding onto at once. Long conversations don't say fully remembered forever. Older parts of the extension matter less and less to what generates next, the further back they sit. The information hasn't vanished from the chat log you can see. It's just sitting right there, scrollable in the plain text. It just stopped meaningfully shaping the answer. So try it yourself sometime. Give it a clear instruction early, have a long conversation about something else, and then check 10 or 15 messages later whether it's still following that first instruction without you repeating it. A lot of the time it won't be. Worth knowing on its own, brand new to this, or a year in daily. But here's what makes this actually worse than plain forgetting. It doesn't say, "Wait, didn't you mention a constraint earlier? I'm not sure." No, it just answers like the current version of things is the only version that ever existed. Confidentially, no flag, no hedge. Nothing telling you a rule quite dropped out of the picture. From the outside, an answer ignoring an old instruction looks identical to one honoring an instruction you never gave it in the first place. Can't tell the difference by tone, only by actual checking. And it compounds in a way that's worse than one dropped fact. In a long working session, you're constantly building on your own area corrections. Caught a mistake at message 4, it fixed it, now at message 20, you are assuming that fix is still holding. It's a correction quietly fell out of effective context. And you are not just missing an old instruction, you are back at the original mistake. Except how now you think it's already handled, so you have dropped even looking for it. This is exactly how a bad number ends up sitting in a document 3 weeks into a project, and nobody flags it as memory issue because nobody thinks to. Someone's running a long back and forth on a client proposal, a research summary, some piece of ongoing analysis. Early in the session, they catch an error, correct it, move on trusting it's fixed. Conversation keeps going. Another hour, another day, picked up later. And somewhere in there, no signal at all, the correction stops applying to new answers. Still sitting right there in the scroll history. Nobody's checking. Nobody's noticing in the moment. No error message, no warning, nothing different about the answer gets delivered. It's just quietly reverts, and the person reading it has zero reason to suspect a thing because the tone and the format match every other answer in the conversation exactly. So, here's what actually works. Not complicated, just a habit most people never build. For anything long or ongoing, periodically restate the constraints that actually matter instead of assuming they are still active because you said them once. Not every message, that's exhausting and pointless. but an actual natural checkpoint, especially before anything gets finalized or used somewhere real. Say something like, just to confirm, you are still following X and avoiding Y, and actually read the response instead of assuming a yes. For anything generally long running, this is what I actually use now for real world. I will priority ask it to summarize back everything it can't treating as active, not what I originally said. What it thinks is currently now in effect. That question alone exposes the gap fast, because if something dropped out, the summary won't just have it. Now you know about it before it costs you anything, not after. And for anything with real consequences on the line, I have started splitting long sessions into fresh conversations at natural break points. Restating the essentials at the top of each one feels slightly redundant in the moment, costs a lot less than finding out 3 weeks later a fix silently dropped holding. So here's what I actually want you to do this week. Not alone. Pick a long conversation where you have already having with an AI on something real. Go back, find the first real instruction or the correction you gave it. Ask it right now whether that's still active. You might be completely fine, or you might find out something dropped 3 days ago and you never knew. Next time, something that almost sounds like the opposite problem. What happens when AI holds onto something you actually wanted it to forget? See you the next one.